Behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered, nor come into mind. But be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem a rejoicing, and her people a joy. And I will rejoice in Jerusalem, and joy in my people. And the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying.
Mom, I'm gonna address y'all, okay? You guys are raising these young men to be little savages.
I sit up here and I am the only one raising my kids without their father. And I still don't get no respect.
Because of how you act. That's why I sold your game.
I tell you about touching my stuff.
It don't matter. Where's my car? It's been 2 days. I still have no car. The police is still looking for my car.
Get my game, bro.
I'm not worried. No, your game is gone. The game is gone. The game is at the pawn shop. You wanna go get it? Go get the money. You ain't got the money to get it. And I'm not. You cuss again. Cuss again. I told you about your mouth.
Piss. That don't even have. It's leaking all on the floor. They don't even have tops on them.
I'm sending you to military school.
I ain't
for
going.
You are going.
No,
the reason I'm
not.
sending you is because you need some structure in your life. You don't have a father, and maybe I can blame that on me for why your father not around. But at the end of the day, I'm trying my hardest as a single mom to a boy that does not want to listen.
Right. What I gotta listen to you for? You a female. You was a girl.
That's why you're going to. That's why, and I'm not a girl. I'm a woman. That's exactly why you're going to military school.
Whatever I call you.
See, I can't do this no more.
I have a 13-year-old boy, okay? We all know how boys are. I tell him every day, clean your room. You definitely needed some Clorox. Look at the stains on the wall. I'm gonna wipe the walls down. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, what's going on here? But this, what is happening here?
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace and blessing and salutations to the hopeful elect out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds. In the name of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners, whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. All right, and what I want to get into today, is dealing with, how, it only gets worse, as this American society, is falling, where everything that was propped up, within this American system is collapsing as well, and one of the most dependent people, on this American system, all right, was the nigger woman, because this was a system, where she had a whole government, to enforce, all right, her emotions, she has had a whole government, to finance, her poor decision making, all right, she's been able, to win, go unchecked, no one, could check the nigger woman, and this society, has raised the nigger woman, has cultivated the nigger woman like an entitled, spoiled child, and what's happening now, reality is setting in, and this goes all the way back to the garden, how the serpent set Eve up for the ultimate failure, and what we're seeing is a nigger woman, she's just crashing out. When you see these women talk, a lot of these women, they get on TikTok and say the darnest things, all right, but when you listen to them talk, you see that they're completely out of touch with reality, all right, because for the longest time, they haven't had to deal with reality, all right, because there's been so many safety nets within this society and within black culture for the nigga woman, all right, she didn't even have to do a lot of thinking, all right? This bitch just had to exist, and she was good, especially if she looked decent, okay? So from the government assistance to, niggas tricking off, okay, to these, these career jobs, that was, reserved, for the nigga woman, or however it might be, the grants and the little perks, for being a woman and a minority and all these different things. Well, now what's happening, she's having to deal with reality like everyone else. Okay? And now we're in the hangover period, okay, because no one drunk down, okay, the Babylonian wine like the nigga woman. Okay, and now we in the hangover period because she drunk the most Babylonian wine. Now she's having the hardest hangover off of it, man. This is what we're witnessing real time. And the nigga woman is just crashing out all over the place, man. It only gets worse. Okay, so let's play this. This is from the elder brother Abaya. All right. He did this lesson today. All right. This morning, and it's something I want to respond to, and a couple more videos I got as well. Where the one in the beginning was one. Okay, as you can see, single motherhood, all right, was one of the worst things that happened to us as a people. The crack epidemic and the single mother epidemic, all right, were two death blows to a family, all right. When you destroy the family, you destroy the community. When you destroy the community, you destroy the nation. Okay, but crack and single motherhood, all right, was the two most devastating things, okay, to happen to us as a people. Okay, so let's play this.
Trying to kill kids after last rain. Fair use. First up at 6, we've got a Valrico mother under arrest now after live streaming one of the worst things imaginable. Last night, 24-year-old Shanice Willingham broadcast to the world that she'd had it with family life and would be ending it for herself and for her children. And she almost did, but thankfully witnesses stepped in to save them all. Fox 13's Evan Axel Menkes live at the Hillsborough County Courthouse to explain how this all went down. Evan. Well, she had an argument with her family over childcare and said that she couldn't take it anymore. Well, she made sure that everyone knew what she was about to do and that ultimately may have saved their lives.
Even when I was
Shanice Willingham had her mind made up.
I was never a brain. I never had a support system, so who the hell am I going to leave them with?
This is an Instagram live stream that Hillsborough deputies are using as part of their investigation. It shows Shanice walking with her kids to a community pool just after 1 Thursday morning. On it, she says she loves her kids.
I'm right here. It's so beautiful at the pool, y'all. It's so beautiful.
Just after that, court documents say she used a rope to tie herself to the children, who are aged 3, 2, and 8 months, and jumped into the deep end of the pool on Sacramento Street in Valrico. Family members who arrived by car jumped the fences and pulled the 4 people out, saving all of them. She was arrested by deputies and appeared on Thursday afternoon at a child custody hearing from her jail cell. Their father, Theo Williams, tried to get custody, saying he was not involved in what happened, but attorneys for the children argued he had known about her mental health issues and never tried to stop them from being around her.
And that's some bullshit because all right, that Jake catch hell trying to get custody of them children. Okay, and I'm just speaking in general, don't know the ins and outs of this situation. All right, but goes back to what I was saying earlier. This is a system to where the nigga woman, all right, is always right when it comes to Esau's courtroom. Okay, and Jake would have to pay all type of court fees and lawyer fees to even attempt to get custody of those children. Okay, and it's clear that she's not mentally stable. All right, but by default, that's why you hear the woman say, my children, my kids, my son, my daughter. Okay, but then when you look at the results of single motherhood, nobody wants to take claim for that. Now it's just every Jake fault. Jake's that had nothing to do with, okay, the situation. Now it's just Jake's fault that this generation is like this. Okay, but the woman been saying my, all right, like Johnny Gill for goddamn 30 years, 30, 40 years, man. 60 years, man, going back to the 60s, man. Okay, so let's let this play.
Of her mental health. Yeah, so you're asking me. Told him that I didn't know. I didn't know that.
At a second hearing today, a judge agreed to hold her in custody until a formal hearing is held on whether she can be safely let out.
She'll be held in no bond until we can have that hearing.
She has previous mugshots for other family-related incidents, but in this case, HCSO detectives say she had an argument with family members over childcare.
There was a reach out for help of the live stream, and we can be so grateful for the people that.
All right, you can see she's very demonic, okay? And I actually saw the live stream before it was taken down from the family TV, and she was just talking about how she's tired, and of course, she doesn't want to leave her kids with anyone else because no one would take care of her kids like she would. So the mental state of Eve is extremely psychotic. And when you understand psychosis and things of that nature, it's nothing but demons on you in the form of schizophrenia, in the form of schizoaffective disorder, in the form of major depressive disorder, in the form of ADHD, and so on and so forth. It's nothing but demons agitating our spirits, okay? So, with that being said, let's...
So you have that situation, and this just represents one of many. You know, the nigga woman, all right, we're watching the hangover mode, all right, the hangover phase. Because see, when you're drinking, you know, as you're, you know, when you first start sipping, you know, you get your buzz, okay, then you keep sipping, you get loose, you know, then you kind of peak out, you know, everything is working, you know, you're chilling, you're kicking it, you know, you're dancing, you know, you got the jokes going, you see? But then as you keep on, eventually what? It walk you down. Okay? And then you go into what? The hangover effects. Okay? You see? So we're seeing, all right, the hangover phase of listening to the serpent. All right? I got this video here. Listen to this nigga.
I feel like this will make someone feel better, so I'm about to tell my business, but I have no car, no place, no job. I'm in a rental, so they finally put Tesla after 2 years on it, so I can't be mad at that. And this is not my first time losing everything. 2 years ago, the same thing happened because I had a failed business and I lost my house. I lost a bunch of money, $1 million in debt, and I almost lost my mind that time. But this time around, I have so much faith, and I'm going to tell you why. Number one, find something to believe in. For me, I had to build a better relationship with God, and that allows me to feel a little bit more safe because I can trust someone outside of myself, right? Number two, instead of looking at your losses as you losing something, look at it as you're making space for what you truly desire. Because that's all it is. You don't have no space right now.
Yeah, the good part about this is she is motivated, right? She is not giving up, even though she's pretty much lost everything. She has no...
Nigga, shut your ass up. All right? You dumb as hell. Okay? And one thing about the nigga woman, she will try everything once except be in order under the Israelite man. Okay, the majority of these nigga women, they will try everything at least once. Nothing that most of the nigga women won't do. Okay, they'll try everything under the sun instead of being in order under the Israelite man. Okay, but see, this is the mind of someone that, and you can hear in her voice, she's still careless. Okay, because she know that she can stumble to any sucker nigga, any simp nigga any day that bail her out of all that dumb shit she done. Okay, but see, that's dwindling. You see, the times are changing. See, that's dwindling. Okay, years ago she wouldn't even be on here. Somebody, you know, she'd be put up somewhere. Some simple nigga be trying to fix, all right, her poor decision making. Okay, but there's an awakening amongst men. Okay, there's a shift, you know, in the environment. Okay, and Eve, all right, is being neglected more than ever, man. Now she's being left, all right, to herself with them poor ass decisions, man, them dumb ass decisions. Okay? The juice ain't worth the squeeze anymore. Okay? So let's get some precepts. All right. Let's go here to the book of Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. All right, it says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord power had made. And he said unto the woman, hath the Most High said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden. Okay, so when you get into Genesis the 3rd chapter, this is what after Adam received the breath. Okay, and that breath was wisdom, knowledge, and understanding and righteousness. He was given the order. All right, he was given dominion. He was chosen out from amongst all the people in the earth at that time. Okay, to be what? Their chosen lineage. He was given the way of righteousness, man. Okay, there was a chosen lineage, the sons of God from the beginning, which started with Adam. Okay, and Eve, his wife, she understood their way. And we're going to go into this conversation. She understands. So this serpent was not an actual snake. Okay, it was a man. But describe him as a serpent because of the serpent-like qualities. He was subtle and he was patient. Okay, because this wasn't just a one text thread and then he flipped her. No, he wore it down. Okay, he wore it down. This is just an abridgment, okay, of the conversation that the serpent, all right, and Eve had. Okay, so when you go to the word serpent, the Akash, it goes into a witchcraft, all right, diviner. Okay, so the serpent introduced Eve to a way outside of righteousness, outside the intended order of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. All right, the way of the heathen. Okay, everyone else that was outside of that lineage of Adam, okay, were heathens, man. Okay, it says, and the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. All right, so she understood what she should partake in. So she understood. Okay, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High have said, you shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. So the trees, represents these other people that was outside of the lineage of the sons of God. Okay. And the fruit represents their doings, their culture. So the serpent, all right, introduced Eve, all right, to heathen culture, man. Okay, to the ways of death. All right, because you go into the ways of the heathens and the pagans, it's all of it is a backwards ass culture, man. All the heathen have a backwards ass culture. Okay, and it's ultimately the ways of death. You can't live like that, how they live forever, man. Okay. You see, in righteousness, you can live in righteousness forever. Righteousness is immortal. Matter of fact, let's get that. Okay, let's get that Wisdom of Solomon, and we'll jump around. So you get Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1. Okay, is it verse 15? Might be 6. No, it's 15. Yep. It says Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1. All right. I started 13. It says, for the Most High made not death, neither have he pleasure in the destruction of the living. For he have created all things that they might have their being, and the generations of the world were helpful. Okay, and there it says, and there is no poison or destruction in them, nor the kingdom of death upon earth. For righteousness is immortal. Okay, righteousness is immortal. Okay, so immortality is linked with righteousness, man, and that's what was breathed into Adam, righteousness. Okay, but the serpent tricked Eve out of an immortal way, like it was something better than immortality, man. Show you how gullible the woman is, man. Okay, but the serpent finessed Eve, okay, out of immortality, man. Okay, it says, and the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. Okay, and you look at the fruits of listening to Esau at this time, because Esau and the nigga woman is nothing but a playback of Eve and the serpent in the garden. You want to know what Eve and the serpent talked about? Look on TikTok. Look on World Star. All right, go drive through the west side of your city. Okay, you see. Go to the projects. That's what they was talking about. This is the fruits of what they was talking about. Okay. You see? So Eve, she sold out the nation for perks under the serpent. Okay? She sold out the lineage of the sons of God for the perks of the serpent, man. And they did the same thing going back to the 60s, the feminist movement, man. Okay? This is how we got to this point. It said, for the Most High doth know that, let me see. So like it said, for the Most High doth, all right, for the Most High doth know that in the days ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. So he presented this to her as an upgrade. Just like the devil was finna present transhumanism to the masses as an upgrade. He's not going to present it to you as digital oppression. All right, tyranny on another level. He's going to present it what? As an upgrade. Okay, so he presented death to Eve as an upgrade for immortality, man. He's more crafty than any other heathen, man. Okay, it says that when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, okay, she desired the way of the heathen. Because you look at the culture of the nigger woman today, you go into the, the high heels, the fishnets, the cosmetics, okay, the queen of heaven spirit, okay, women, in these careers in society, these top positions in society. Well, that goes back to what? The Egyptians, the Babylonians, okay, Greco-Roman culture, all right, Sumerians. It all goes back to the way, all right, of the heathen, like the nigger woman, okay. Her culture is the way of the heathen, okay. Diana, Ephesus, the goddess with all the the fertility goddess, okay. All these children with no men. All that goes back to pagan culture, man. You see, that was outside of the way that was given, all right, to Adam. And it says that when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. Okay, so Eve, was worn down by the serpent, and then eventually Eve wore down Adam. And we all paying for it. We're paying for what Adam did. That's why Yahweh Shai, he had to come and be an atonement, going all the way back to Adam. That's why, the crucifixion was so brutal, because the Lord reached back all the way to Adam and King Solomon, to when he was punishing, okay, when he was Yahweh Shai was being crucified, man. You see, and he had to get it right. So now you have what, the men, all right, the rest of the sons of God under Yahweh Shai, all right, the elect of the sons of God, what, they're coming back to order. Okay, and you have a few women that's coming back in order under that. Okay, but the majority of the American woman out of there, man. The serpent has taken them beyond repair. The Lord has allowed the serpent to take them beyond repair, man. Okay, because you go back here, you see, because even today, Eve, she partook in the fruits, okay, of the devil, man. Okay, this is Proverbs 23:1. It says, when thou sittest to eat with a ruler, and who's the ruler now? Esau. Consider diligently what is before thee. All right. So when this man presented feminism, okay, the woman didn't consider. Because see, women ain't built to think long term. Women are in the moment, which that's a great thing when they're in their order under a man. Okay. But when they're all right, listening to the enemy for instruction, it's a horrible thing. Now she can be weaponized because she doesn't see the long-term damage that she's doing by her decision making. Okay? So the woman didn't consider what was being put in front of her. Okay? I don't need no man. I don't need no man. I'm good. I'm independent. I'm strong. Me and mine good. Okay? They've been screaming that for decades. You see? Not knowing the damage that it was doing, because women don't think, all right, long term. Okay? They don't think big picture. They think within little moments. And that's why the serpent was able to deceive Eve in that moment. Okay? Verse 2, it says, and put a knife to thy throat if thou be a man given to appetite, man, show restraint. Okay? And there's something, the serpent knew that the woman doesn't have. It says, be not desirous of your dainties, for they are deceitful meat. Okay? Esau has given the nigga woman deceitful meat. Okay? It smells good, it look good, it tastes good, but the long term, effects of the meat of the enemy has been straight destruction, man. Okay? It said, verse 6 says, eat thou not the bread of him that have an evil eye. Because it's all about envy of the sons of God. The serpent was envious of Adam. Esau was envious of Jacob, the Israelite man. Okay, the nigga woman was just a casualty of war. Okay, between Jacob and Esau. But he hyped her up like he had her best interest in mind. Okay, now it's just complete and utter, atrocity, man. You see? It says, neither desire thou his dainty meats, for as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, saith he to thee, but his heart is not with thee. His mind wasn't with you. Okay? And you women, have, paraded yourself around the earth. Okay? As if the Esau gave a damn about your ass. Okay? As if, the woman was some type of superhero for the longest, this whole woman, just being this victim and the hero. That narrative, dominated nigga culture. Okay, but now, all right, there's an expose on the serpent and Eve. And now they out there, man. Okay? And most of Eve is beyond repair. All right? And it only gets worse from here, man. So that's the point. Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sisters edified once again. Give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Kakadash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers, and peace and blessings, salutations, hopefully, shalom.